Since the turn of the millennium, Zimbabwe has lost a number of business icons who played a pivotal role in national and economic development. Their demise left a huge dent to the Zimbabwean business landscape, as some of their business empires followed them to their graves. In this poignant documentary, we pay tribute to prominent Zimbabwean businessmen who have passed away, exploring their remarkable journeys, their triumphs, and the legacies they have left behind. Sam Levy. He was born in 1929 and died in 2012. Sam Levy was a Zimbabwean businessman and land developer, best known for the construction of the Sam Levy village in Borodale in the 1990s. Born in the Jewish family in Kwekwe, Levy founded a lot of business empires at a tender age and ventured into politics, where he served as a councillor for southern suburbs comprising Waterfalls and other areas. This was before the independence of Zimbabwe. He founded Masses Stores Limited, a large supermarket group in the 1960s. In 1973, he went on to buy Julie's car showroom for a whopping price of $1.5 million American dollars. He later converted the site into a department store and later shopping center, the Zimex Mall, which he then sold to NASA. According to a report by the local newspaper, he wrote, "The man never ceased to be controversial. When he built the Sam Levy village, he never got support from the locals, as they didn't want a shopping mall within their vicinity." In 2000, Levy was arrested by the Zimbabwean Republic Police after motorbikes marked police were found at his farm near Harare. He was fined 200 Zimbabwean dollars for the matter. Although his net worth wasn't publicly known, by the time of his demise, he was one of the richest people to ever live in Zimbabwe. Roy Leslie Bennett, born on the 16th of February 1957 and died on the 17th of January 2018. Roy Bennett was a Zimbabwean who was popularly known as Pachedu, translated to amongst us. Bennett was a farmer and also a miner who was once allegedly involved in a diamond scandal in which he was accused of exploiting the Chazwa villagers by asking them to bring diamonds and pay them less. Although his net worth was not publicly known, he was one of the richest people Zimbabwe ever had. Apart from business, Roy was a politician and a fierce critic to the late President Robert Mugabe's rule, which would lead him unending troubles. Pachedu served as a treasurer in the movement Democratic for Change led by the late opposition icon Morgan Tsvangirai, and also an MP for Chimanimani in Manicaland, which was his home province. He was one of the 3 white parliamentarians elected in the 2000 parliamentary elections. In 2004, Bennett was involved in an altercation with the then Minister of Justice Patrick Chinamasa, who accused him of not forgiving government which had taken his farm during the land reform program. The altercation resulted in Bennett punching Chinamasa, causing chaos in parliament. He was later imprisoned to 12 months for the offense, later released after serving 8, and after that he went to exile in South Africa. Upon his return in 2009, Bennett was appointed Deputy Minister of Agriculture, a post which President Robert Mugabe was said to have refused to swear him. Bennett and his wife Ida died on the 17th of January 2018 in a helicopter crash in Colfax County, New Mexico, USA. Prince Tendai, born on the 10th of June 1955 and died on the 20th of December 2011. Prince Tendai was a popular Zimbabwean musician, businessman and philanthropist, and also a music promoter. Mr. Man, as he was affectionately known, is credited for creating the urban grooves genre. At a time Sungura was dominating the Zimbabwean music circles, Through his music career, he founded the first ever black-owned record label in Zimbabwe, High Destiny Records, in 1994, which later worked with a lot of musicians, who included Marshall Mumwe, Africa Revenge, and Rumba giant Kanda Bongoman. Also, he became the first Zimbabwean musician to be nominated for the Kora Music Awards in 1997 in the Best African Song of the Year category. As a musician, he released hit songs such as Zambezi to Limpopo and Character. Tendai was also known for fighting stigmatization to people living with HIV and AIDS by establishing Sokaya, a soccer tournament for women with HIV and AIDS. In 2010, Mufurutsa made headlines by bringing R&B sensation Akon and dancehall king Sean Paul to Zimbabwe under his Real Deal label. The show managed to fill National Sports Stadium with music enthusiasts paying to see their loved musician. Although the show was rated one of the greatest, apart from that of Bob Marley in 1980, reports say that was the beginning of his unending problems as he incurred unbearable losses. According to his right-hand man, Chonya Mngoma, the gig was well planned, but sabotaged by security leakages, which led people entering the concert while paying less. The concert caused Tendai to go through depression, which led him into serious health problems. On December 28, 2011, Tendai died the same day he arrived from China, where he was seeking treatment. Eric Rosen. Eric Rosen was a soccer lover and a businessman who died at the age of 69. He was the founder and the sole financer of Motor Action Football Club. At his funeral, his son claimed Rosen spent over 4.5 million to finance the club. The club became a power to reckon in the PSL as it competed with big clubs like Dynamos, Highlanders, and Cape United. In 2010, the club won the Premier League trophy, and in the following year, participating in the CAF Champions League. Although the club won the trophy in 2010, Rosen was said to have incurred losses as the league had no sponsor. It was described as just a trophy without money. In 2011, Motor Action went into the Mbada Diamonds final with the Dynamos, where they were edged 1-0. Apart from his remarkable journey as a businessman and a football fanatic, Rosen was always accused of being a racist who would always abuse referees and players. At one point, he called a referee, Ronald Mwanjira, a baboon in a match between his team and the Masvingo United in Mutari. Rosen died of heart failure at a local clinic in Harare 2 years after his club was relegated. Douglas Munazi, born on the 4th of March 1962 and died on November 29, 2021. Douglas Munazi was a renowned banker and a commercial farmer whose contribution into the private sector cannot be overlooked. Born in the old suburb of Highfields in Harare, Munazi pursued his academics and later became a renowned banker and an administrator who served as the chief executive officer of Bank ABC from 2000 up to 2014. He also served in other banking sectors locally and internationally before becoming the CEO of the Zimbabwe Investment and Development Agency, ZIDA. Munazi owned Kunatsa Estates in Matepa, Mashonaland Central, which was once told by President Emmerson Mnangagwa as a model of large-scale farms that are expected to drive agricultural growth. The death of Munazi was more of a mysterious thing. He died in an inferno at his home in Northfields, Harare. Although the cause of the inferno was not well traced, investigations by police suspected foul play as there was a lady who went into his apartment and her departure was not known. Evans Katumba was a flamboyant Zimbabwean businessman who lived in the neighboring South Africa and was known for his poshy life. He was abducted on the 22nd of March 2024 and found dead on the 17th of April. A former truck driver, Katumba lived in South Africa for over a decade. He worked as a fuel attendant, later ventured into fuel business in 2018. The business made Katumba a power to reckon in South Africa as he bought Yugo, a popular nightclub in Durban. Vardy, as he was nicknamed by friends and business associates, was also a socialite who was known for flaunting his riches on social media, also posing pictures with his top-range cars. Katumba's popularity could not live long, as he was abducted in March by unknown assailants who were suspected to be people he knew. This happened when Katumba was preparing to go to his nightclub, where he had a musician he was hosting. The kidnappers demanded 2.5 million rands as ransom to release the flamboyant men. They were given 1.5 ransom in a bid to rescue him. His lifeless body was found dumped about 15 kilometers from his hometown Durban, despite having paid 1.5 million rands as ransom. His friends believe his decision to buy Yugo nightclub in February contributed much to his murder, as many, especially South Africans, were not pleased. Genius Kadungure, born on the 10th of October 1984, died on the 8th of November 2020. Genius Kadungure, popularly known as Ginimbi, was a popular Zimbabwean businessman cum socialite. He was born in Omboshawa, a peri-urban area northeast of Harare. He was the founder and chief executive officer of a gas company, Pioneer Gases, which was operating in Botswana, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. He was also the owner of Dreams nightclub. His business empire made him to build a world-class mansion in Omboshawa, his rural home. Ginimbi is said to have started small businesses at a tender age. At the age of 17, he became a middleman, securing gas for domestic users. This made him successful in his venture until he established Pioneer Gas. The man was always making headlines for hosting all-white parties. The parties were a hub of fanfare and popping of champagne. In 2010, he hosted an all-white party in Harare, where $17,000 was said to have been spent. Although he was successful in his businesses, the Omboshawa-based flamboyant businessman was always not short of controversies. He was once accused of bedding a lot of women. Although he was in a relationship with popular business lady Zodwa Mkandla, it was reported he was several times beaten by other men for taking their wives. In 2014, he was arrested on allegations of fraud. He was accused of defrauding Dexter Nduna, a popular SANU-PF apologist, thousands of dollars. In 2018, he dismissed claims that he owed South African-based Zimbabwean businessman Mutumwa Mawere a lot of money. He was also accused of tax evasion, something he would continuously deny. On October 20, 2020, Ginimbi was involved in a fatal accident after his Rolls-Royce Wraith collided with a Honda Fit on his way to Omboshawa, his home. He was coming from a birthday party of his friend Moana, who also perished in the same accident. His funeral made a lot of headlines as it was transformed into a car exhibition show. Thank you for tuning in, and for this and other stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kambakwe Media.